So, Remedy Drive has been fighting against trafficking for the last 5 years or so. And we started by making an album called Commodity to shine a light on slavery. Our second album was called The North Star, which came out early 2018. And using our music, our goal was to just expose slavery. But then, right off the bat, with the Exodus Road, Matt Parker offered me the opportunity to come overseas with him. So I've been over 9 times in South America, Latin America, and Southeast Asia, where I joined a team of undercover operatives. We go into brothels, we go into red light districts, find evidence of sex trafficking, and we use that evidence to partner with authorities to make raids, to make arrests. And that's been a remarkable part of. But what's been tough is I've only got to meet these wonderful human beings, these girls especially that are trapped in trafficking. I only meet them on that side of it. So a year and a half ago, we started buying all our t-shirts from an organization called Agape International Mission from Cambodia. So this shirt, for instance, is made out of charcoal and bamboo. Or this bracelet was made in Cambodia, like right in a former child brothel. So they came in, they shut down the brothel. Now they help rehabilitate and restore girls that have been rescued from sex trafficking. Another place called Rafa House, we buy elephants that are about this big, or little elephants. I have a necklace from a place called Saksam that says "I'm not a commodity" on it. Boho pants are some of my favorite. They're these pants, they look like pants, but then they have kind of like MC Hammer pants with elephants on them. These different organizations we buy from, we believe in them because they're using sewing or different skills like sewing or making bracelets to help rehabilitate girls, help to restore them, and to help to reintegrate them into society. And maybe they'll move up in the ranks. They'll go from making bracelets to management or making patterns. There's girls in Cambodia that used to be in the sex industry, sex trafficked, and now they are making cakes, and some of them even made a cake for the Prime Minister of Cambodia. So these are stories that in the last 2 years have been so healing for me to get to be part of in that way. So The North Star is our second counter-trafficking album, named after a newspaper by Frederick Douglass. He was an abolitionist. He was a slave that escaped slavery, and he started a newspaper to talk about the abolition. And I knew that, but I didn't know until recently when I started writing songs for the North Star that the North Star was actually used for slaves to find their, at night when they'd be running, during the days of the Underground Railroad, they'd look to the North Star to find their freedom. It helped them get north from the southern states. And after writing Commodity, I didn't know what the North Star was going to be about as much, but this idea of other people enabling the freedom and helping be involved in stories of freedom, and expanded a little bit, because the North Star not only deals with slavery, but it deals with other injustices. We talk a lot about refugees and victims of endless war and endless conflict in the North Star. But I think the biggest theme of the North Star is empathy and apathy. We're talking about stories of people that I've intersected with in the counter-trafficking work, and in people that I've met, and also people that I read and follow on Twitter that are just giving their lives in different ways, using their pens, using their keyboards, using their songs or camera lens, using art and time and effort and moral capital and political capital to speak up and to take the cause of the most oppressed and the exiled and the enslaved. And I wanted to put those stories to melody, and that's what I hope we accomplish with this album. When I talk to people, whether it's at a concert or wherever I speak a lot at universities about human trafficking, about sex trafficking, I always see a light go on in people's eyes. They're like, yeah, I live at the intersection of I-80 and I-29, and it happens here too. And people are always surprised that it happens, that sex trafficking happens in our own communities. People wonder why someone would go to another country. And that misconception that it's kind of evenly distributed throughout the planet is wrong. There is certain areas, like 10 countries, that make up like 90% of the slavery problem on our planet today. And that's why there's NGOs, non-government organizations like the Exodus Road or Agape International that focus on certain areas where slavery is kind of going unchecked, and where governments need the help of non-government organizations to shine a light on it.